I am going to be the first one to step forward and volunteer my services as the show of apologies to a coach.
Fair enough.
Now I know you kind of know where I'm going with this, and you can prepare your point of view or your version. But people, I want you to listen very, very closely to the moment that I said we all owe him a really big apology.
I just think, most freshmen around the country, are usually on an upward trajectory. And they're going to have times where their play, doesn't maybe match the game prior to. It's a long season for young guys. It's a long season. The time that we put in through August, September, October, November, December, it becomes long for freshmen. They're not used to the intensity, the length of the season. And so you're going to have lulls in their play, but you want an upward trajectory as time goes on. And I think David and Sam are on that pace. I think the other guys are as well. You just guys don't get to see them do it because they haven't earned the playing time over the veterans. But Sam and Dave, and like all our freshmen, are continuing to progress throughout the year. So does that match my expectations? I expected each of those guys to improve. I didn't have benchmarks for each one of them as we headed into the season.
Now you see what happened, people. That may have not sounded like much to you. That if you're panic-stricken fan base person like we all are, right? That may have not meant much other than Sam and David are the only people to play, and that's not the case. It may be the case on the court, but here's the thing. Steve pointed something out to me that went along with the story. Steve, what did you see on Instagram?
When this morning?
Yes, or I thought you told me about it yesterday. You may have made the point yesterday, but you had proof of Josh Nickelberry.
Oh, okay,
and David Johnson. Yeah, describe that.
Well,
I'll be able to.
The point I made yesterday was. We were talking about late games, for instance. Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. We were talking about late games, 9 o'clock games. How they're just tough. We're simultaneously watching 2 games while on the phone
at 11.
Yeah, 30. I know. And you make the point. You're like, my God, how your body feels right now. And the point I kind of had with that was, I said, yeah, but your veteran teams maybe, but your young guys. They don't care if you're playing at 11 o'clock. I mean, David's 4 games in to living his dream right now. And then this morning, well, I'm sorry.
Keep going.
Okay. And then this morning, you get the Instagram.
And this is great, people. Like, Steve is going to give you this visual and take what he says and put yourself in that position.
You get a Instagram from Josh Nickelberry, who is waking up in the morning. About an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, so about 8 o'clock or so. Waking up in the morning, and he moves the camera over, and in front of this huge window, in his underwear, with his arms stretched out.
Yes, like the world is mine.
Is David Johnson, and we got to talking and said, that's what I'm talking about. To David, this is. I don't care what time. 11 hours?
Right.
Like when I get that ball at 9 o'clock at night, like it's going down.
And the context of this is, why did you open that window? I'm still asleep. Right? And David Johnson is like, how could you sleep at a time like this in life? You know what I'm saying? We're on the 27th floor in downtown Boston, right? At this nice, whatever, Hilton, super duper sweet, nice room. Open these windows, get up and live life. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. It all ties back to Coach Mack, and this is a long season.
Yeah.
David Johnson is just now starting his season. You know those first 4 games? Like the games that we complained about being on the schedule?
Yeah.
David Johnson is in his warm-up for the season.
Yeah.
And the idea that these young guys, I know they're going to be a contributor later on, but they're not mentally prepared to handle how long this season is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I couldn't imagine being that disciplined enough to have these guys and say, I don't want my guys conking out in the last 8 games of the season.
Yeah.
I don't want because listen, I got some good freshmen over here, and they'll be dead. They will be dead-legged by the time we get to the final stretch of 8 games.
Listen, when you play, and the reason I'm starting in middle school is kind of the first place where, unless you're doing AAU or something where you really got to make a team. 6th and 7th grade ball, the season's much shorter than 8th grade ball. You get to high school, freshman JV seasons are much shorter than varsity seasons. So there's a lot of validity to what Coach Mack's saying.
Yes.
I mean, all the way through basketball from bottom to top.
Yes. Freshmen, like myself, you didn't think about it, but if you go back and look at the actual video, you're not dunking late season as a freshman. You get that backdoor play called for you. Listen, the temperature got to be perfect. Listen, those freshmen that didn't play a lot as freshmen have the best highlights. Like if you go back to let's just say, I'm going to just throw a random name, Everett Sullivan. Yep. As a freshman, he had to Tick Rogers, right? He talks about, do y'all know what I had to go through to get on the court? By the time Tick Rogers earns his way on the court, late season, Coach Crum brings Tick in. Probably his most memorable dunks are late season in seasons he didn't play a lot.
Sure.
You don't have a problem finger rolling if you've been playing all year.
Yeah. You
shouldn't have to. David and Sam right now are just now entering the season. So, and we're talking about they've gone past the midway point. So imagine the way you saw Aiden Gahan hit those free throws. Late game. Like he looked sharp on that possession, like he knew what he was doing. Defensively, he looked like he knew what he was doing. Still a little big feet, big footish, big paws, kind of, like I said, like a dog with floppy ears, kind of just,
right.
But you can tell they know what they're doing. Sam, David, Aiden, even Josh.
Yeah.
I think they know what they're doing, and I think the coach knew better than to have David out here early in the season and coming off injuries. And it's just like, my God, like,
yeah, man.
I would have never done that. You would have never done if you were the coach of this team, David Johnson would not be in that window looking like that. He'd be the one still sleeping.
Yeah.
Late season freshman, don't
absolutely.
wake me up. Like Jonathan Israel can attest to it. Like, listen, Todd, like all our managers, by the end of the year, I'm begging them to put me down on the list or make everybody else go get taped first, and then call me so I can get my ankles taped last, or go pick up my clothes last, or just stuff like that, because I wanted to sleep later on in the season. If he plays this year and David's he averages 13 points a game and 4 rebounds and, and 3 assists, and he's in his 20th game of playing time.
Yeah.
He is not standing up in that window.
Right.
His body's sore. He's not. This is the game you lose because your David Johnson's banged up, tired, mentally fatigued. Sam, tired, getting all these rebounds all year, mentally fatigued. All that stuff. That's not them.
Right. Well, there's 2 different things for me real quick before we go to the phone line. The first thing is, like you said, it's definitely an apology moment because I'm like, yeah, you're right. You were definitely right on this one, Coach. Like, when you see how it's coming together. The other part is, it does make you think. There's more levels to this team this year than we realize.